Next is Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1970. So what is contract labor? Applicability and scope. The Contract Labor Act was introduced in 1970 to regulate the employment of contract labor in certain establishments and to provide for its abolition in certain circumstances. It applies to every establishment in which 20 or more workmen are employed or were employed on any day of preceding 12 months as a contract labor. To every contractors who employs or who employed on any day of preceding 12 months, 20 or more workmen. So contract labor means this contract labor was introduced in the year 1970 to regulate the employment of contract labor in certain establishment. So certain establishment, they are employing the contract laborers. They are employing the contract laborers and they are getting the work from the contract. They are getting the work done from the contract laborers, but they are not providing proper facilities to the contract laborers, to a proper food facilities or proper washroom facilities, or they are not providing proper shift facilities. Contract labor, sometimes they will work for 13 hours, 15 hours continuously. Okay, so in order to abolish that, the government of India has enacted the law called Contract Labor Act, and that was introduced in the year 1970 to regulate the employees or to regulate the employment of contract labor which is involved in any organization. Okay, so who can have the contract labor? So an establishments which is require contract laborers, and the establishment needs the laborers, then they can hire the contract laborers above 20. They can hire the contract laborers 20 or more than contract laborers. Okay, they cannot hire one contract labor or two contract labor, 5 contract labor, 10 contract labor, nothing like that. If you want to hire a contract labor, then you have to employ 20 or more contract laborers. Okay, so you have to hire 20 or more employees as a contract labor, and you have to employ that contract labor at least for 1 year. That is 12 months as a 12 months. You should employ any contract labor for 12 months or 1 year, and you have to for contract laborers, you have to provide the license for the contract labor, and you have to renew the license every year. So for 12 months, you have to employ the contract laborers. Once that 12 months is over, then you have to renew the contract labor license if you want to continue the contract labor. If you want to continue to employ the contract labor, then you have to renew the license of the contract laborers. And this contract laborers can be employed in any day of the calendar year. It is not like from this month to this month the contract labor should be employed. It is not like that. Any day you can employ the contract labor, but you have to, once you are employing a contract labor, means that contract should be at least for 12 months. And you have to employ the contract labor 20 or more people, or more 20 or more employees. You should not employ 10. You should not employ 10 laborers as a contract employee. Not like that. So once you are decided to hire the contract labor, means you have to employ 20 or more labor as a contract laborers.